when is the right amount of time between a product announcement and the availability of when you can actually get hold of the product and get a chance to use it and purchase it? Well, it's something that I've been thinking about, and I thought, you know what, let me drop it in one of my a cappella talking head video series so you guys can also have a discussion with me. Again, Ben from Lover of Tech. Announcement date versus purchase and release date. Let's talk about it. Now, I've thought about it because it's quite interesting during the times that we're living in 2020. And it's something that came to mind of, when is it actually acceptable depending on what product is actually being announced? Is it okay for it to be announced to when you can actually, as a consumer, get a chance to see it, use it, go into store and purchase it, especially in the mobile scene? Because it's something I think about, and I kind of get frustrated by certain decision makings by certain OEMs. But I also do understand that there is certain expectations, and also there is certain exceptions as to why there might be a bigger gap based on what product has been announced. I'm going to use some key examples in the past that really drive this message and narrative home and kind of get your opinion, because I don't think there's definitely a correct answer to be like, hey, this is what it should be. We can discuss some ideal situations of where and why it should be this way, but maybe why it necessarily doesn't always work out to be that way. One of the first products that comes to mind that really made me feel this way was the original iPhone X when it was unveiled 12th of December 2017. Next to the iPhone 8 series, the iPhone X was the gold standard new revolutionary design that we've been waiting from Apple, and they did, right? And it was the $1,000 phone, the really expensive phone with 64 gigabytes of storage. But announcing on the 12th of September, it wasn't available at the end of September like the iPhone 8 series. No, you had to wait till the 27th of October for pre-orders, and for you to actually purchase it, you would have to wait until the 3rd of November, which is almost 2 months after the announcement. And it was something where I remember getting it myself, and I was quite frustrated because of when my contract was upgraded during the time period that it was needed to, and I had to wait, pay extra money, and I couldn't get the phone straight away. And it was quite a frustrating experience, and I was thinking, why announce a product when it's actually not ready? That's one case. Next one is definitely a product and a manufacturer that was trying to break grounds into the next era and usher in a new wave of devices that were going to change how people used it. Yes, you know it. It's Samsung with the Galaxy Fold. And originally, I was at the Unpacked event where it was unveiled, and it was spectacular how they led with it and you saw it. But if you look at when it was unveiled and also when it was initially meant to be released, we all know what happened with the early review samples that were sent out to journalists and YouTubers, and the faults that happened with it that really pushed it back. And in the end, it ended up being something that was available nearer to the end of September in 2019. So when you think about that particular product, you can kind of understand why maybe that was an exception, because it was a proof in concept being given out to the public to try out as an early alpha, potentially, let's just say early beta. So the announcement date to when you could actually purchase it, and if you do actually purchase it, was a whole different ball game. And I think this is one of those devices and one of those cases where you can really look at and seeing that, was there an exception because the product was trying so differently to do something that we hadn't seen before. Two more recent ones that really hit at home is definitely the S20 series announcement. And the main one specifically is the Galaxy S20 Ultra, the big behemoth domino looking camera module at the back with the space zoom. Again, announced 11th of February with the other S20 and S20 Plus series phones. This product was actually in the UK meant to be available on the 13th of March, but actually because of stock issues and so many other issues, you'd be lucky if you managed to get hold of it at the end of March, maybe at the beginning of April. And even then, when the product was released, we all saw the problems, the misfire of the focusing problems on the camera module, and also the overpromising of the optical space zoom as they were advertising. And it's quite a shame because the frustration that came from people that were spending more north of beyond £1,000 for what is practically a phone that we've seen in its final form before, not anything groundbreaking like the Galaxy Fold. That's quite a frustration experience. So I don't know what you guys think. That was something where I thought, again, announcement date to availability date, a product that isn't ready, why announce it? Why not make sure it's ready within that time? And generally a good example of what a manufacturer tends to do in an ideal situation, with an asterisk with this one, would be, let's just say, the OnePlus 8 series announcement. Again, announced on the 14th of April, but available through pop-up pretty much on the day of announcement, usually 3 days after. But again, because of the situation, they couldn't really do an on-site pop-up. And in terms of availability, exactly a week later on the 21st, you could purchase it from the necessary retailers or directly from the manufacturers if you could get stock. We all know the issues that's been happening there. But my point is, all the previous OnePlus devices, OnePlus tends to do this very well, where once they announce a product, pretty much 3 days later, you can buy it early, pop up with gifts, or a week later, you can get it direct and it's available. Announcement and ready to go. My point why I bring this up is that there is a certain level of frustration that comes with when a product is announced and when you can actually purchase it. And one little special mention is the Microsoft Surface Duo. That in itself is a product that was announced and then unveiled somewhere around October 2019 last year. But again, they announced it saying that it was something that was going to be available the year after. And again, we don't even know if we're going to get it this year with all the craziness that's happened. It might be something that's pushed forward next year. And I did defend this, that, hey, it's almost like how the car industry is, where when they come together, they can show you concepts of devices that they're building that might not necessarily be final, but the technology might develop into final products, aka OnePlus with the Concept One, based on a partnership with McLaren that showed a proof in concept where the idea could actually work out really well. Again, there are exceptions to the rule. What I basically wanted to put out there as a conclusion to this is that there isn't a definitive answer. I think the case by case is based on how much more groundbreaking is the product, where there is probably a bit more time that is needed to excite the customers, to excite the crowd, and also allow things to develop. But then at the same time, there are certain situations, and most situations, where honestly, if the product is not ready, don't announce it too early and let people wait 2, 3, 4, 5, half a year, and sometimes even a year, depending on the product, to get it. Or like Apple, AirPower, don't announce a product 2 years later, it never shows, and it's completely dead. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments if you like this type of video, what your thoughts are on announcement date versus release date. If it's something that you think it's not really that much of a big deal, what's your opinions? Let me know. Ben from Lover of Tech, glad you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button, like, and the notification bell so you don't miss videos like this in the future. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.